Welcome back, students. In the previous session, we discussed about what do you mean by public access specifiers. Here in this session, I am going to discuss about what do you mean by private access specifiers and protected access specifiers. Here, private access specifiers are just like same as the public access specifiers, but only the difference is here we can use those private data members in our class, as well as we can use those private data members to the friend functions. We can use in friend functions also. Here in friend functions means I will discuss in the next class what do you mean by friend functions. In this class just I am going to discuss about how we are going to access the public data private data members and member functions, right, by using the public data members. Here if we are not going to define any data member and member function of a class as public or private or protected, default access specifier is private only. Default access specifier is private. Here private data member variable or function can't be accessed or even viewed from the outside the class. We can't here any data member which is declared as a private. Here we can't use or we can't view the data member or member function outside the class. We can't view or we can't use that particular data member outside the class. Here one more thing, here whenever we are going to define any friend functions to that particular class, whenever we are going to define any friend function in that particular class, we can use those private data members in that friend functions which are declared in that particular class only. Here now, any data member or member function which is not declared as a public, private or protected, default access specifier is private, right? Next, see the example. Here in this class, here in this example, I am going to declaring one class that is box. I am going to declaring one class that is box. In that particular box, I am defining this width is a private data member. Width is a private data member. Right, width is a private data member. Now here one more thing, in a single class we can declare the variables are public, private and protected. Here in this example I am going to use these two access specifiers. One is the private, second one is the public. In private access specifier I am using this width variable. Here in public access specifier I am using double length one variable, that is length, and set width one more function and get width one more function. Here what set width function, in this function we are passing one parameter, that is double. Here in double get width we are not going to pass any parameter. That's the reason we are not going to writing here. We are not going to write any data type here. Return type of the get width function is double. Return type of set width function is void. Here we are declaring two member functions. These two member functions are declared in public mode. After completion of this one, after here in the class declaration, we are having two data member functions and we are having two data members. One is data member is public and two member functions are declared in the public mode. One data member is declared in the private mode. Right, then closing the braces. Here we are declaring two member functions now. So we have after declaring the class, we have to define those member functions, set width function and get width function. See here, set width function. What is the return type of this set width function? See here, void is there, void box set width double. Here we have to pass one parameter, that is double id parameter. Now I am assigning double id value to the width. Right, now one more function we are using here, that is the get width function. What is the return type of get width function? Is double. So double followed by the class name, that is box, function name scope resolution operator, then function name get width, then we have to return the width value. Right, these two functions are defined in these two functions are declared in the class. That's the reason outside the class declaration we are defining these two functions, by using the scope resolution operator. Now we have to write the code for the main function. Right, see here, int main, I am creating one object b1 object. How to create the object b1? First we have to write the class name is box, followed by the object name is b1. By using this b1 we are going to set the length, right, set box length without a member function. Set box length without a member function. B1 dot length, right? B1 dot length is there. Directly see out length of the box is B1 dot length. Length is declared as the public. Length is declared in the public mode. That's the reason directly we are going to use this public data member outside the class in function main. Now here set box width without a member function. Set box width without a member function, whereas width is declared as a public data member. Width is declared as a public data member. B1 dot width equals to 10. B1 dot width equals to 10. See here, width is also the data member of the class, but we are defining the width as a private member. We are defining the width as a private data member. That's the reason we can't access the private data member directly. We can't access the private data member directly. To access the private data member of a class, we have to use the public member function. By using the public member function, we can access the private data member of a class. Remember one thing here, width is the private data member. Width is the private data member. Length is the public data member. So directly we can access the length by the object of that particular class. Here length is the public data member. To access the public data member, just we have to create the object of that particular class by using the object. Here B1 object is there. By using the B1 dot length equals to 10.0, right? Why here we can access the length? Why? Because length is declared in the public access specifier mode, whereas width is declared as a in the private access specifying mode. That's the reason directly we can't access the private data members. To access the private data members of a class, we have to use the member functions. We have to use the member functions which are declared in the public access specifier mode. See here, B1 dot set here. B1 dot width means I am going to get one error because width is private, right? Here B1 dot set width 10.0. Here I am using this one. Set width function is there. This set width function is the public member function which is declared in the class box. See out width of a box. See out width of a box. B1 dot get width. By using the B1 dot get width, we can get the width of the box, right? Length of the box is 10, width of the box is 10. Right? Public access specifier means the variables which are declared in the public access specifying mode. Here we can use within the complete program. Whereas in this case, in private access specifiers, friend function can access the public data members. And one more thing, directly we can't use the public data members in our program. To access the public data members, we have to use the public function. We have to use the member functions which are declared in public, right? Next one is the protected access specifier. In protected access specifier, here similar to private data member, but only one additional benefit is there. That is, here child class is going to access the protected data members. Child class, already here in inheritance concept, you are going to get the what do you mean by super class, what do you mean by subclass, what do you mean by parent class, what do you mean by child class. All those things are going to be learned in inheritance topic. While I am going to explain inheritance topic, I am going to explain what do you mean by protected data members. Till now, just you remember one thing, that only the private here protected data members are going to follow the rules of private data members, but additional feature is there, that is the child class is going to access the protected data members, right? Remember this thing. I'll explain the program while I'm going to explaining this inheritance concept. Thank you. Welcome back. Now welcome back students. Here now we are going to implement the private data members. How to implement the private data members? What is the first line of our code line is #include iostream dot h. Next, here we are going to define one class, that is box. In that class box, I am going to define private data member, private double box, double width. And now one data member is there, that is width is declared in private mode. Now two more functions we are going to define in public mode. Public double length and void set width. Here we are going to pass one parameter, that is double, then double get width. We are not going to pass any parameter, that's the reason here we are not going to write anything. Here after this one class declaration is completed, then we have to put this semicolon. Now after this one we have to define the functions, right? Get width function and set width function. Here first one is the set width function. What is the return type? Void, then class name box, scope resolution operator, then set width. We have to pass one parameter, double wi, right? Opening the braces, width equals to wi. We are passing the value, right? After that, what is the next function? The get width function is there. What is the return type of get width function? Double. So first we have to write double, then followed by the class name box, scope resolution operator, then get width. Right, in this get width function, here we are not going to pass any parameter, just opening braces and closing braces. Then here return type is double, that's the reason we have to return the value return width. Now here two member functions are declared in the class box. Here we are defining these two member functions outside the class. Now we have to define the function, right? Int main, right? In this main function, here first we have to create the object b1. How to create the object? First we have to write the class name. The class name is box, followed by the object name is b1. Now in first case we are setting the length of the box, here by using the object, here b1 dot length equals to 12.2. b1 dot length equals to 12.2. right? Now I am printing the length of the box. Length of the box is b1 dot length. Now we are printing the value in the new line. Up to here length of the box is printed. Now here we want to set the width of the box. Here how to set the, here width is the private data member, that's the reason we have to use the private member function. We have to use the public member function. Then by using the public member function of a class, we are going to assign the value, we are going to access the private data member of a class. That's the reason object is b1 set width 13.3. right? Now see out, I am going to print the width of a box. Width of a box is, how to get the width of the box? By using the get width function, right? Here b1 dot get width, b1 dot get width function, write new line character, the semicolon. Here int main is there, that's the reason we have to write return 0. Now closing the braces. Now save the program. CPP. Now we have to execute the program. Control plus F9, 0 errors are there, right? Now check the output here. Length of the box is 12.2, width of the box is 13.3, right? Here if we are going to use directly, how we are going to get the error? See here, by using here width is there now. See here, width is there. This width is the private data member. If I am going to try to access the private data member of a class by using the object of that particular class, what type of error you are going to get here? See here, b1 box, b1 is the object, b1 dot width equals to 23.4. Here I am going to try to access the width. I am going to try to access the width variable. I am going to try to access the width variable by using the object, right? Here b1 dot width is there. Yeah, I am going to try to access the width variable which is declared as the public, which is declared as private mode, which is declared in the private mode. Here in our concept we can't access the private data members of the class outside the class. To access the private data members of a class, we have to use the member functions which are declared in the public mode. So what type of error you are going to get here? Check this one. Here control plus F9, yes. See, one error you are going to get here. Box width is not accessed. Error. Here my program name is raf.cpp. Here 24 is there. What do you mean by this 24? At 24th line you are getting one error that box width is not accessible. Box width is not accessible. See here at 24th line you are getting one error, that is width is not accessible. Why width is not accessible? Why? Because width is declared in the private mode. To access the private data members outside the class, we have to use the public data member functions. By using this public data member functions, we can access the private data members of the class. That's the reason we are getting one error here. If you are going to put in the comment line, then again control plus F9. See here, no errors are there. Directly we can get the output. Alt F5. Length of the box is 12.2, width of a box is 13.3. Right? In protected access specifiers, we will discuss while we are going to discuss inheritance. At that time, I am going to explain what do you mean by protected access specifiers. Right? Thank you.